Welcome to episode 173 of the Necronama.com. If you're looking to start your own podcast, you should check out Libsyn.com and get up to 2 months of free podcasting service when you use our code NECRO, all caps, NECRO. Libsyn provides you with great customer service and support. They have real-time podcast analytics, free podcast guides and tutorials, and everything else you'll need to get started podcasting today. Go to libsyn.com and enter the promo code NECRO today, and check out the Necronama.com wherever you listen to podcasts. I am James Sabata, horror author, screenwriter, co-host of the podcast you're listening to right now. And I have no co-host this week because Don didn't want to hang out with me. Sad day.
Is there a 90-day fiancé marathon going on?
It's very possible. I don't know.
Is it a watch party?
He just told me, he's like, I can't record tonight. And I was like, fine, then I'm just going to do a random episode and not tell you.
Because he found out I was going to be on the podcast.
He doesn't know. We're recording this and he doesn't know yet. Isn't that great?
Oh, I get it. So Don won't do it. So you've got 1.5 black friends. So Don won't do it. So you bring me on.
Not true. I have another one. Lots of black friends and listeners, probably. I don't know. You know, I could be black. This is an audio-only show. It's impossible to tell.
Trust me. Nobody listening to your voice thinks you're a black dude.
So who are you and why are you here, sir?
Well, my name is Vincent V. Cava. And I think this is like, how many times have I been a guest on this show? I feel like Alec Baldwin on SNL. What do I do? Oh, I write horror. I'm a horror author. And I am incredibly unqualified to talk about film, but let's go ahead and let's do it.
You make comic books and you occasionally write script things and you hang out with me.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a creepypasta movie floating around somewhere that I'm attached to. We'll see. We'll see if the damn thing ever comes out. Which is funny because, you know what, I will drop this little bit of info. So when they came to me when I shot The Anchor, I produced it. I wasn't directing it. Paul Stamper was the director. He's so talented with like VFX and shit. He was the he co-directed that. Michael Cravato was the lead on the anchor of the project. But when we shot The Anchor, they came to me like just a few months ago, maybe like 6 months ago, and they were like, you know, this is all the segments are titled, but we just titled The Anchor is just titled Anchor. You know, it's the tie-in part of the movie that ties everything together. And the other producers were like, do you want to have like a name for this? And it's kind of funny that we're doing this because I had never heard of this movie that we're about to talk about till 3 days ago?
Oh no.
Yeah. So about 6 months ago when they came to me about it and they said, we need a name for this anchor. I said, let's call it DEADSTREAM. And that's the truth. That's what it is in the credits.
Oh my God.
I swear to God, because I mean, I don't want to give anything away. I don't know what I am allowed to talk about, but there's definitely like an online stream element because it's creepypasta. And, yeah, it's just so weird that it all came back around. Now I'm like, oh God, can I get sued for that? I'm like thinking like, maybe I should text the producers and be like, is it too late to change it to DeathStream or something?
Death streaming. You know, I'm just
I don't know.
Getting a little further away from it. No, that's crazy.
I found out about this. You know what? And it's so funny that like I found out about it like 3 days ago. And it wasn't until I watched the movie that this actually was the movie was on and I was watching it that it actually occurred to me. I totally forgot what we called the
That's extra great.
Yeah, and yeah. So maybe I am the right guy to have on this podcast.
No, so how did you hear about the movie? Like, were you just logging into Shudder and saw it, or like, did somebody tell you to watch it, or what?
Yeah, I was told to watch it by a horror fan. We were talking movies, and yeah, I had never heard of it, and I decided to pop it on. Hell, I love a good horror comedy. And,
I saw it. I saw it on Shudder, and I read the description, and I was like, no, that sounds fucking terrible. I don't want to watch that. And then you wrote me, and you were like, it's amazing. And I was like, he never says stuff is good. This must be really good. And I watched it, and I was fucking blown away by how good this film was.
And I hate everything.
So, okay, let's jump in. Like, I know that you have a background in like the creepypasta world and online storytelling and then YouTube and all that kind of stuff. And like, you watch a lot more streaming than I do, and like probably Twitch and whatever else stuff I don't even know about because I'm an old man, you know. Yeah, they nailed the shit out of this, right? Like, yeah, this is every fucking streamer I've ever seen that I hate. So
I'm aware of Twitch and YouTubers and stuff. I'm not too active on the platform. I do write stories for YouTube and stuff like that. That's YouTube exclusives and all kinds of stuff. And so I know plenty of YouTubers. I know plenty of streamers, and some of them are doing really well for themselves, and I'm happy about it. I'm happy about them and their success. But I also know of some of the big boys. Yeah, I've been to VidCon. I've done the VidCon parties and stuff like that. So I'm aware of internet culture, YouTube culture, Twitch culture. Kids could probably tell you more about it than I could, but
that would involve them talking to me. So,
a VidCon is a shit show. So usually when you think you think about cons, you think what? Comic-Con, comic conventions or whatever.
Sure.
Comic-Con, San Diego is kind of the exception because it's so absolutely massive. But you think about your city's local comic convention, and it's a glorified trade show with panelists and some celebrities. But you walk the hall, and people are selling merch, T-shirts, art prints that they did, and stickers, sweatsuits printed with hentai on them, and all kinds of weird shit that you can only get there.
Or so they tell you.
Or so they tell you at marked up prices. Sure. But VidCon isn't about all that. VidCon's really a networking event for online creators. When it started, it was mostly YouTube people, but over the years, you'll see Twitch and TikTokers attending the events, and they're all viable platforms. A lot of these people have millions of followers, and that comes with having a big voice and a lot of pull and the ability to form your own narratives, and also can be monetized quite well, and you can make good money doing it. Even TikTokers are out there making bank.
All right, let's jump into the movie. So Sean is let's look at how it starts. Like, it opens with the I don't remember exactly what it says.
VidCon and all of that stuff, because Sean is he's a internet personality. He's a basically a Twitch streamer and YouTuber, although I think his YouTube got demonetized, right?
Yes.
I think he's like supposed to be some combination of like Ice Poseidon or Jake Paul. You know, he's a guy that films everything he does and does really like shitty things for views.
Yeah, like he claims that his show is facing his fears for your entertainment, right? Like, so they show him like on the raft and he's like crying like a baby and, you know, all that kind of shit. But I feel like I don't know. I don't get the feeling that Sean's afraid of all these things, you know? Seems very set up, which it's supposed to. And it really hit me. Like, it feels like the videos that my kids watch that drive me insane. So I was amazed at how good Sean was at this. But yeah.
Why do those videos drive you insane?
Well, that's like a 3-hour answer. I mean, the first part is it's my kids. No. I don't know. Like, look at Logan Paul, right? Like, not WWE Logan Paul. I actually kind of like him, but just normal Logan Paul. It's just, he's just a douchebag no matter what he does, you know?
I have a theory that all those fights are fake, like faker than wrestling, those boxing matches. And I think one day they're going to get like busted by the feds. You can't be having sporting events that you're saying are real that are fake. There's no way Logan Paul is fighting Floyd Mayweather to a draw. I'm sorry. It's not happening.
Right.
Okay? I've watched enough Floyd Mayweather in my life to know that a guy who just picked up boxing a few years ago isn't gonna fucking hang with him for 10 rounds, 8 rounds or something like that.
Next, you're going to tell me that his Pokemon card isn't real.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, I think that I really do have this theory that the Pauls are one day going to get busted for that. But yeah, I guess I am kind of straying from the subject. What were we talking about? Movie, right?
Just Sean in general, like leading into it. I don't know.
Right. So what do we hear? We hear that he's back, right? He just got demonetized and suspended off of YouTube. His channel got suspended or something, or his Twitch channel did, because of some stunt he pulled. But we don't know what the stunt is, right? Or they don't even tell us it's a stunt at first, which led my mind to like into thinking, oh God, he did like it was a sexual assault. What was it? Like it's, but we find out later that it was because of some shitty stunts that he pulled that kind of crossed some lines, right?
Yeah.
And he's back and he's going to face his newest fear, which is spending a night alone in America's most haunted house, which is apparently in Utah.
I love that he says it's like the most haunted house in America that's still in like where he's allowed to film or something like that. It's just like this added on little piece that like, you know, brings it down a few notches.
Yeah, right.
That was a nice
like
touch.
If he went to like Amityville house that like they wouldn't let him stay there.
I also loved that it's in Payson, Utah. I don't know why. That just really cracked me up. I loved that. So
we were just in Utah. I would have liked to have seen if the house was there.
Only we had known. Damn it.
I love Sean. He's such a douchebag.
I love his scream. His scream is like my favorite part of this movie.
You just know, like, you know, when you get a character in a horror movie and you're just like, I cannot wait for shit to hit the fan and for you to suffer. And that's like, that's instantly from the very like first second of the movie. I'm like, oh, you suck so much.
Well, I love the beginning because they have the little like in October of 2022, this YouTuber, whatever they called him on it, goes into the haunted house and he was never heard from again. And then they pull back and it's just a t-shirt that he's selling. I loved that. And my friend Ian, who will listen to this episode inevitably, just bought that shirt online.
Oh, really? Did you tell Ian to watch that movie too?
I don't know. He would have watched it anyway. I might have. I probably just said how much I loved it, but yeah.
I love that fucking movie, this movie. So yeah, he goes to the house in. Did the house have a name? I don't even remember.
It's like Death House or something really lame like that. It's not Murder Dome. I know that because I would have sued him. But
oh man, if the Murder Dome debut came in Deadstream, that would have been amazing.
One day our movie Murder Dome will be released. But yeah, so yeah, I think it's Death House. And he's telling us the story of this woman, Mildred, and
Yes.
you know, how she was trying to build a family there, basically. And then he cuts off and he says, I can't tell you the whole story now or you'll log off and leave. And he's right. I would have. No,
he's definitely like a seasoned streamer. He knows how to keep people on the hook, and that's a big part of it. You don't want to give them everything right away. You got to just dangle out little breadcrumbs here and there.
So one of the things I love most about this beginning is the setting up of the cameras, because one of my biggest problems with found footage is the shaky cam. And I like how this didn't use shaky cam exactly. Like, it's these cameras that are all set up, and he explains why they're there and how they work and how they'll turn on if some motion happens or things like that. And I, as a person that utterly hates shaky cam, I just appreciated this so much, because I don't mind like the flicker back and forth or that kind of thing. But like, take the fucking Hunger Games when the whole thing looked like somebody put a fucking camera in their pocket and went running. I hate that shit. So it was nice.
We got a Hunger Games reference on the horror podcast.
That's right. Sometimes watching Jennifer Lawrence act can be horror. So, what'd you think about him like ripping out his spark plugs and shit?
I mean, when that happened, you just gotta laugh, right? Because it's you know it's a comedy movie. You know it's coming.
Of course.
It's not even foreshadowing because it's so fucking expected. But it just really like I'm always interested in the creative ways movies will make sure a car breaks down so the characters can't escape. I remember in Bodies, it was because the girl left the mirror on. Right? She flipped open the mirror and drained the battery that way because she just left it on all night.
Yeah, as soon as she left it on, I was like, oh, yeah.
That
was
movie,
great.
I know you were. I love that movie. That movie is, speaking of internet culture, that movie is all girls know how to do is charge their phones, eat hot chips, and lie. The movie.
Can't believe we haven't covered it on here yet.
Yeah, what happened?
Maybe one day. But yeah, I really thought this was a misdirect. I thought that later the car would work just fine and that he had never taken the spark plugs out.
That would have been funny too.
I thought this was totally for the show that he's making. So I was amazed that it actually was out. But yeah.
No, he was. Say what you will about how big of a douchebag Sean is. He was serious about actually providing his viewers with the content that he felt was the best content he could provide. Like he didn't cut any corners here.
No, he followed the rules.
And I can respect that.
Well, even like when he did the little quiz of whether Chrissy should be involved or not. Like he still follows the rules. It's up to them, not him, you know? Right. I thought those were nice touches.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad. Like when you think about it, like his whole personality has become dependent on his viewers too. Like you can tell he's a person that you can tell he like kind of plays it off like, you know, like this is a show and everything, and you know, I'm not taking the suspension seriously, but also like everything that he does it probably revolves around this show, his streaming platforms, and everything he does revolves around the validation that he receives from his viewers, which is it makes him kind of a tragic character, in my opinion. And they definitely do parallel that with Mildred later in the film.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice touch too. I mean, obviously we're going to talk spoilers anyway, so we can just jump ahead. Like at the end, we find out, that she was really just trying to get people to read her poetry, and then she was trying to build an audience. And I loved how that was so mirrored, as you said, and yet like the different times, like this never ends. It's not that it's just an influencer thing. It's people have been doing this since the dawn of time, basically.
We all crave validation.
Absolutely.
We all do. And anybody who says otherwise is lying to you, unless they're, on some monks living on a mountain, trying to achieve nirvana.
That guy's just trying to get everybody else to talk about him. He's still doing it too.
But validation is something that it's human. We all like compliments. We all like being told that we're funny or smart or attractive or interesting. I'll be the first to say that, I write because I want to share my stories with many people as possible. I absolutely give a shit if they like it or not. You might meet some writers that are like, I don't care, I put it out. No, they're reading reviews. Writers care. And it's true of everybody in any art form, even in people who are in fields that aren't artistic. It's science. Everybody's just everybody wants respect. Everybody wants to be validated. Everybody wants to feel like their hard work was worth something. And Sean's way of doing it is a lot more direct than others, in the sense that he basically streams his life and hopes people tune in and donate money to his channel and stuff like that. That's how he receives his validation.
So where's that line? And I'm not expecting you to know exactly. I just want your opinion. But like, Sean is addicted to likes and interactions and stuff, but he also needs the monetization, right? Like, it's not enough that he still has his show. It's been demonetized. So obviously he needs that to live and stuff and not get a day job or whatever. But like, I'm fascinated by that line of people who continue to create when they're not getting paid versus people that go, well, then fuck this shit. You know what I mean? Like maybe they find another way to get that same thing. I don't know, but I was just wondering what your thoughts with Sean are on where that line is.
So Sean was at the beginning of this movie flirting with the very real possibility of being canceled from stunts that he pulled. Beat up a homeless guy or something. And then I
believe the homeless guy died, but I don't fully know what the stunt was.
And then he's tried to smuggle himself over the border. It was a racist stunt. So he was like flirting with being canceled, and he was saying like, I don't care about what they think. And that he's just in denial when he's saying that, or he's just covering for his true feelings, which was that he really did care. He's terrified about the prospect of losing his platform. Terrified about the prospect of not being able to stream his life and receive validation anymore. When do people just give up? Is that what you were asking?
Well, I was saying with Sean himself, like he could have kept going. He could still stream and stuff. He's just demonetized. So like,
well, there's other ways to make money too. Like he was selling T-shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
For a lot of
I love that that's in there because of that. I think that that's a great addition to this.
YouTube doesn't really pay that well, the platform itself. So most creators, they figure out other ways to monetize. Merchandise is big. I mean, we talked about the Pauls, putting out Pauls, but they're like somewhat notorious for hawking their T-shirts and their shit on their YouTube channel.
I wonder if I could get Don to do a UFC fight. Oh, anyway, continue.
Get him to fight one of those dudes with their fiance. So my point is, you could be demonetized and it would suck, but you can still, as long as you can still, make your content, as long as you're not deplatformed, you still have life.
That makes sense.
Deplatforming will kill you. If you can't be on YouTube or you can't be on Twitch, look at what's his name, Andrew Tate, right? I'm getting his name already. I hate to bring him up and give the guy attention because he sucks so hard, but he's been completely deplatformed. Here was a guy who was an internet personality who pushed a chauvinistic ideology, misogynistic. You've heard of Andrew Tate, right?
Yeah.
Right. So he quickly rose to popularity. It's quite a bit over the past year, by harvesting these sad incel guys that are upset with women because they're lonely and they have all these issues, but he's telling them that they're not the problem, that women are the problem, and he rose to popularity. He got really, really big, really, really fast, and then eventually every platform said, okay, we've had enough. YouTube, we're pulling the plug. TikTok, they're pulling the plug. Facebook, Twitter. And who is he now? He's no one. He can't generate a following. He can't, his whatever following he still has will, whether it's a fucking mailing list or what, I don't even know. It's just going to slowly dwindle away until he's completely broke, or at least until he's not making money off of this shit anymore. He doesn't have a voice. So being deplatformed is the big problem. Being monetized sucks, but being deplatformed is far worse.
I mean, you could get kicked off of Twitter and then start your own social page called Truth Something or Another, and
you could try to buy Twitter.
Yeah, you could. You could be such an incel that you literally try to buy Twitter and then succeed. But
shut off the internet to Crimea. Do that shit today.
Yeah.
Nice, man. I am
fucking amazing.
So terrified of capitalism.
You should be, yeah. Like they weren't joking when they said money was the root of all evil, man. Like that's like the one truth in life that keeps living up to it. What it says every day.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
That was my line. Do everybody there.
So Chrissy shows up. She's a fan. She pieced the clues together, figured out where he is, and
honestly, right then and there, that should have been you can tell Sean is dedicated because right then and there, if that was me, even if I thought you were like a fan and not a freaky ghost, I'd be like, we gotta stop. I'm getting the fuck out of here. We're done. I'm not going to continue.
I think I would be more creeped out by this woman that was willing to go through all these things than I would by the ghost that I was expecting to see. Whether I was actually expecting to see it or not, But it's me, so I would have been expecting it. But yeah, she, as soon as she walks in, I'm like, okay, either you're Mildred or you're so much worse than Mildred could have been. Like, those are the only two choices. Like, you're not coming here to be a good guy. I love that he calls her Christy instead of Chrissy. That's a nice touch.
It's pretty obvious who she is as soon as she shows up, especially because he locked the door when he got in and threw away the key.
Literally his.
Which is why. Why did you do that?
See, that's why I didn't believe the spark plugs, though, because it's so over the top to throw the spark plugs away and throw the key down this little vent thing that I was like, there's no way he's really doing these things. He has the key. The car is fine. Like, I really thought that's where this was going. So I was very surprised when it was all real.
Respect to Sean. Might be a racist asshole, but respect to him. He at least followed through.
Very clearly said he's not racist. Gosh. Oh.
He has 1.5 black friends.
It's more than me. Don left me. I can't believe I don't get more hate mail for the things I say like that. But they're just so indifferent to me that they don't write me at all.
And people actually have to listen.
Well, we get a lot of downloads, but that doesn't mean anybody's listening.
No.
It could be Don like just downloading at home trying to make me feel better about our numbers.
He's got like a Bitcoin mine thing going in his garage, just constantly downloading the podcast.
Gillicoins.
You should make a Necronomy.com NFT.
Jesus Christ.
I'm telling you, it could be huge. And
somebody else would own my logo and they'd sue me. No.
Tell them to your listeners.
Christ. So you knew Chrissy was Mildred right away?
Yeah, especially when she got defensive over the poetry book that they found.
Yeah.
By then, it was obvious.
See, this is another reason that I don't feel like Sean's necessarily really afraid of everything that he says. And again, I know that's a gimmick. That's how things work. But like, when they open this stairway down into this old ass cellar, Sean's just like, fuck yeah, let's go. And I'm like, you don't seem scared of anything, dude. Like, you scream a lot, but that's about it. See, I don't know. I'd be like, stairway, I'm out of here.
I saw it as he was terrified, but he's so like dependent on giving his followers the best show possible that he's not even going to think twice about not going.
He's a better person than I am.
I also want to say really quick, as we talked about like how you thought there were misdirects and how we, like Chrissy was obviously Mildred in this, and I think this film is a good example of how you don't have to have a twist to be effective. And a lot of this stuff in this that happens in this movie, you see it coming. You see the plot of this film coming right away. You know exactly what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
This douchebag is going to go into a haunted house, set up cameras, and then get wrecked. But
like you said, you hate him so much instantly, you can't wait for it.
It's so fun the entire time. Like, it doesn't matter if you realize Chrissy was Mildred. It doesn't matter if there was no misdirect with the spark plugs. It was still fucking fun. Oh, yeah.
No, I would actually argue it's more fun because you're basically counting down until it happens. Like, it's 100% being in on the joke and just, let's kill this motherfucker, But it's also how we watch these things. We want to see Logan Paul fuck up. We want to see Jake get knocked the fuck out, Like, I don't know. Or like, I don't know his name, but you'll know who I'm talking about. There's that kid that he always like rips off his shirt and then like throws himself into a table or some shit. And you know who I'm talking about? The wrestling kid.
He's a wrestler?
He's not an actual wrestler. He's a kid that likes wrestling. So he'll put up like a folding table and then put like just crazy shit on the table. And then he'll rip off his shirt and jump into the table. And then he's just in massive pain. And the whole thing is just how much pain can this kid take? And yeah, I don't know his name, but I really thought you would instantly know. But anyway, my point is, like, that's why we watch these things. So this movie makes us do it as well. We're waiting for Sean to fucking hurt. That's what we came here to see.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because, like, in a way, there are so many YouTubers, right, that put themselves through physical and emotional stress for the views, for the clicks, right? For the likes and the follows.
Yeah.
They put themselves through so much for that validation, like Sean puts himself through. And we watch on YouTube and we laugh at them. We sort of forget these are real people. And this movie kind of makes me feel like, you know, it parallels that, right? In the sense, not just literally in the fact that he's a streamer, but in the sense that we're watching the car wreck that we know is about to happen. We're just sitting back and enjoying. There was a YouTuber a few years back named, oh my God, the younger viewers are gonna like hate me for not remembering his name. But look up Pink Guy. Look up Pink Guy on YouTube. And this guy would put himself through the craziest shit. Like, he would, just ingest smoothies made of the most disgusting, horrible shit you've ever seen.
Oh, man.
And he was funny, right? We're all laughing at him. It's funny. You know what he's famous for? He invented the Harlem Shake. Remember that meme?
Yeah,
that was him.
Huh.
Filthy Frank, that was his name. Filthy Frank.
Yep, I just found it. Like, I just Googled
Pink
it.
Guy was a character that he did on the channel. And he said he eventually quit. He quit. He's like, I can't do it anymore. It's fucking up my mental health. So you ask where that line is, where that, when do you stop? Like at some point, even the validation isn't worth it anymore. He couldn't do it anymore. He changed directions, changed courses. He got into music. And he seems happy with that. I don't know the guy, but he seems like he's doing his thing. And I guess the point I'm trying to make is, like, to answer your question from earlier, is where is that line? Well, that line is usually when you can't take it anymore, when the physical pain or the emotional toil that playing these online characters takes on you. It's just too much. And I think Sean probably was starting to feel it, but towards the end of the film.
Oh, definitely. I don't want to just totally jump to the end, but I fucking love the end of this movie. And Sean's progression to where he finally snaps and he thinks he's going to die, and he's doing the whole like actual apology and talking about like everything that he's ever thought. You know, like, I thought that just worked so well. And I loved how it brought it full circle, because the beginning is the so-called apology, you know, and,
right.
But it also,
the apology video in the beginning of the...
Oh my God, the apology video at the beginning is fucking great. The way he's like shooting fireballs and shit. Oh my God, I loved it. Oh, that guy I was talking about jumping into stuff, his name is Superhuman. That's why I couldn't fucking think of it. And he rips off his shirt, yells like, "This is for the juggalos, whoop whoop," and then he jumps into shit and hurts himself. But so back to Sean.
And he's probably got more followers than me.
Oh, I'm sure he's probably got millions of followers. But I love that Sean's confession doesn't feel forced at all. Like, it's a perfect character arc to get there. Right. And it feels so great, like, because you know he's fucked. Like, we all know Sean's not leaving this fucking house, you know? And I don't know. I absolutely loved how they were able to bring it back and get him to actually apologize. But what I loved about it so much is that he says basically the same shit he said in the fake apology. And I thought that was such a nice touch, because it's not the words that matter. It's how we mean them. You know, it's the intent. And there was no intent early on. The intent was, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to be demonetized. I don't want to lose my platform. But the intent at the end is legitimately, I'm fucking sorry. And I thought it was great that they were basically the same speech.
Yeah. And it's apologies are more than words, right? It's about actually fucking meaning it. And how you say it.
And that desire not to do it again, maybe. Yeah. Usually. Sometimes.
Are people sorry when they get publicly called out, or are they just sorry they got caught?
Yeah, I think that's so real. It's great.
Yeah. Where are we?
I don't know. We're wherever the fuck you want to be. It's just, go wherever. We can just wrap it up. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Ian, what was that? Tell us in the comments, Ian. But
you want to talk about what, like the monster effects, the VFX? What do we got here? We didn't really even talk about how. I saw a lot of Sam Raimi influence in this film.
I think it was you that I was talking to that said it felt like found footage Evil Dead film, right? That was you?
Yeah.
I think that just nails it. I think that's the perfect comp.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I said it, that's why. But also, because it really did feel like I was watching a Raimi movie. Sometimes, you ever watched Brain Dead by Peter Jackson?
I don't believe I have.
I recommend it. That also feels like a Raimi movie, even though they came out around the same time. I'm not saying Peter Jackson was influenced by Raimi or vice versa. I wouldn't know. I'm not enough of a film buff. But that is, it had the same energy. This movie has the same energy. It's like Evil Dead or Brain Dead. I think it's also called Dead Alive. I think it has two names.
Oh, okay. I've seen Dead Alive.
Different release. Yeah. Depends on where it was released.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that it had two names. So yeah, I didn't know that was the same thing.
No.
Okay, yeah, I could definitely see that comparison.
Definitely loved I definitely loved the special effects, some of the makeup, and of the. I think the thing that got me in that film was the kid sitting on the bed.
Oh my god!
And turning around. That was just good. I don't care if your movie is serious or not. Like, that's just good horror.
Oh yeah. Well, and we always talk about with comedy how you hit the joke, but then taking it that little bit further is what really gets it, right? And when you can build on a joke or come back to it, just whatever elevates it that one little level. And that's exactly what this scene does with horror. The kid just sitting backward, like sitting away from you, that's fucking creepy. This kid shouldn't be there. And we're all conditioned to know what happens with kids in horror movies anyway. But like, we're already like, that could have just been scary on its own. But when he turns around, oh my God.
And they did they did a great job of giving you something you just can't expect. Because you're like expecting him to, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have black eyes. You're going to have a deep, scary voice.
Or a skeleton face.
Yeah. But man, they hit you with some shit that there's no way you could see it coming.
I bet that was so fun to write too. I bet they were just like, oh, that's going to fuck them up.
That's definitely my favorite scare of the movie.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Even the little infant or whatever in the bed was great too. Like how it was creepy enough just laying there. But like, I assume other horror fans also expected it to come running at him, but the way it did it was still fucking great. And I don't know, that one fucked me up too. I loved it.
Yeah, really enjoyable horror comedy.
Like, you're laughing through the whole thing, but it's still 100% horror.
It's still a horror movie. You're a weenie and you can't handle horror, but no offense to the weenies out there.
What are they going to do? Send their children? Just damn it! What are they going to do? Send their child army after you, like some kind of PewDiePie? Come on,
like some kind of PewDiePie.
PewDiePie. God, that's such a fucking great line.
Yeah, I mean, PewDiePie is another character that you could say, another online personality you could say mirrors Sean. He started out, did you know this? I don't know if you know this, but he started out as a video game streamer. I mean, he still plays video games. But he got known for playing like a haunted house game. And just
really
freaking out and having these like freak out reactions because he's like scared shitless playing this video game. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I mean, this movie definitely you could borrows a little from PewDiePie.
Well, and then giving him a shout out like that's fantastic.
And this movie probably wishes PewDiePie would shout them out. You know?
No shit.
You know, man, it's crazy how many followers some of these guys have and how beloved they are. If I would say if like there was anything I would have liked to see more of in the movie, it's just how would it just for my own, just my own curiosity, would have just been to see how popular Sean is online. I wanted to get I could tell he's a popular internet personality, but I wanted to get kind of a bigger scope of just how important he is in the whole YouTube, Twitch, TikTok sphere.
Yeah, I think that would have been good.
Is there a TikTok horror movie?
I don't know. You should write one.
We should write a TikTok horror movie.
Write it with Don. Don's the TikTok guy.
Call it TikTok Evil.
Call it TikTok. Oh. Yeah, no, Don's your TikTok guy. You should write it with him.
I'm too old for.
You guys can kill me right away.
If you'd like.
Well, in reality or in the movie? Because my answer doesn't really change, but I'm just curious.
Is Don still on TikTok?
Oh, all the time.
He's been doing. I thought he got deplatformed.
No. So his first account did. Yeah, his first account did because, yeah, he went off on how Reagan's a bad dude, so he got kicked off. And then he
that apparently.
Then he was like, "Oh, I found a way to get back
Reagan
on."
Slander.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's very odd. It's very strange. But then he was like, "Yeah, I found a secret way to get back on," and I was like, "Use a different email account to set it up." I don't know, but so yeah, he's back on there. He's doing like readings of his books and stuff on there.
Oh,
and some history lessons. I think he stays away from Reagan now because he's scared of losing his millions and millions of followers. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not on there, so I don't know what he's really doing. That's the stuff he tells me he's doing. He could be like reviewing porn or something. I have no idea.
Maybe it's just him doing like TikTok dances stuff.
That would be great. I would watch that though. So, No, you talked about like the special effects or makeup or whatever. And I was amazed at the level that they went to in this movie because some of these look fucking great. Like Mildred's great, and that fucking thing in the bathtub is fantastic. Even like the cop that's like Mildred's dad or whatever the fuck he is, like, they all look good.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the makeup was quality, the special effects were quality, the VFX were good. Solid horror movie. I couldn't recommend it enough. I love horror comedies. So I was already going to be down to watch it, whether it was good or not. But this is going to go on my list as something that I'm going to watch again and again, for sure.
I think my favorite scene is when Chrissy bites Sean in the neck. Like, because she just suddenly attacks and bites his fucking neck, and you're not expecting it. You're sort of expecting it, but you're not exactly expecting it there. And I wasn't expecting it like that. And then they kind of go back and forth, and then Sean stabs her in the fucking head. And I just loved this scene so much. I was just like, this is so perfect. And then, of course, the real horror is her body disappears. And I don't know. I loved everything about how this scene is and what it sets up. And
hit the fan.
Yeah. Jesus. Like, it's not even so much the effects for me at that point. It's how flawlessly it looks. Like, it's just boom, 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 boom. And it all looks fucking great, you know?
I'd be curious to know the budget of this film. It seems like it was done on a fairly low budget, but it just looks really good.
Maybe they're just amazing at what they do. See, I don't see anything listed on Wikipedia for it.
Watch more of these people movies. Is the director done it?
I don't know.
Oh, well, Vanessa Winter apparently did VHS 99.
Oh,
definitely be watching that one too.
Yeah, if it looks this good, that'd be great. I'll have to check it out just for that, because I've gotten very used to, we do a lot of 80s shit on this show. Not shit like it's terrible, just that's my word. We do a lot of 80s movies on this show. I've gotten so used to the good practical effects that still stand up and the really, really fucking terrible effects that do not, that when I watch something like this, I'm like, oh shit, they did a great job on this, you know? So I think I'm even more primed to be impressed by anything people do now.
Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely be checking out more of her stuff. I hope she keeps making deranged found footage movies. I think, I think they're a couple, brother, sister. I'm guessing they're married. The director, Joseph Winter and Vanessa Winter, and they both wrote and directed this. Oh, Sean is Joseph Winter.
Oh, as you can see, we really did our research before this episode.
Yeah, I'm just looking through IMDb right now.
I'm watching Don review porn on TikTok.
And he will be in VHS 9. What kind of porn?
I don't know. Not really watching him do that. I'd be scared to see Don's porn. It'd be terrifying.
I feel like John.
Whoever.
I feel like Don would have a very eclectic porn collection. Like there'd be a lot of variety. I'd be interested just to peruse it. Just sample his taste.
We should start a new feature on this show where once a month we do questions with the other co-host, and people just ask us what we think the other person does, and then we answer it. I think that'd be great. It'll show how little we really know about one another.
It's always going to come back to watch porn.
Yeah, that's true.
You guys are both married.
We are?
Not to each other.
Oh, that's too bad. Like we skipped a lot of the plot, but I feel like social commentary wise, we've hit a lot of the big stuff. Do you have anything specific you still want to hit or not? Or I don't know where you're at.
My office. Why would you ask me that?
I don't know.
Are you watching?
Maybe.
No,
Possible.
I love this movie for its simplicity. Now, it manages to hit on some pretty interesting social commentary, but at the end of the day, it's still just a fun, spooky horror film that you can turn your brain off and enjoy.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And I do love that too. Not everything has to be fucking elevated, you know?
And I feel like this is one that you could have on in the background and it would still be fun. Like when you look up occasionally, like some movies you can't do that. Like I feel like The Witch, for instance, I don't feel like that would work. But like this just seems like one of those fun things that you could have on and just enjoy your night. Yeah.
I 100% agree. That's I guess that's all I've got to say about this, other than I would like to live deliciously.
All right. Well, I got one more thing. I want to talk about the comments on the videos because they crack me up. I just loved the use of the comments because there's parts where it really enhances the movie. It'll be like, look at this wall or stuff like that. Or like, did you see the legs hanging from the ceiling? And if you didn't see them, maybe you go back and check it out right away. I did see them, so I just went, haha, that's funny. But, but the ones that I really thought were interesting actually give away the ending before it gets there. And like one commenter says, like, sure, Mildred's gone, but what about the others? And then another comment says, you're going to get surrounded. But they're probably like 5 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that before it happens. I just thought it was a nice way to use these things. Like, even if you were watching and reading them as it's going, like, it doesn't give it away. But then when it hits, it's just kind of fun, you know? And then, of course, there was utterly ridiculous shit like when Sean's really fucked up after eating his eye and stuff. It says, you look like you just went one round with Logan Paul.
Yeah, I mean, there were a ton of great gags, and it just makes the movie fun for reading.
There's a comment that says, this would make a great movie. I like that one.
That's a great comment.
I suppose then. I got nothing else. You got anything else?
Just thinking about the slice of
Don's
DiGiorno.
porn. The slice of DiGiorno that you eat. Yeah.
Well, that I'm gonna eat. Yeah, but also Don's porn. Now that's all I'm gonna be able to think about is Don's porn collection.
That's all I ever think about. All right. Well, then I'll suppose we'll wrap this up so that you can eat your DiGiorno's and be excited. DiGiorno's is not a sponsor, but they should be. So eat DiGiorno's and love our podcast.
DiGiorno money?
Yeah, the DiGiorno money. That's what I need. Anything would be helpful. So,
Red Baron.
No, it's all part of my plan, man. We don't make any money at this, so I can never be demonetized. See, that's how I got ahead of the game. So where would you like people to find you on social media and buy your books and give you money and chase you down at cons or whatever else you have going on?
You can find me everywhere online, even on Twitch at Vincent V. Cava. Make friends with me. But you can find me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat or all those other websites and social medias that I don't actually ever use, except to occasionally post a lewd picture for validation, because I need validation, at Vincent V. Cava. And also on Amazon, at Vincent V. Cava. And I just found out that my stuff is in Japan. They put the creepypasta collection in. I guess Simon & Schuster's doing a Japanese release or some shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I'm big in Japan, guys. Like literally, I'm big. I'm tall in Japan. I've been kind of insecure lately about my height. I think it's because I go to Whole Foods now, and like I live in a college town. I feel like the next generation is really tall. Even the women are all like tall. Like I'm in Whole Foods and everybody's so tall. I'd be like, oh, she probably plays volleyball or basketball or something. But like they can't all fucking play volleyball or basketball. And I've never been insecure about my height, you know. I'm 5'11". Okay, I tell women I'm 6 feet, but I'm 5. You know, it's a good height. It's a solid height. Not short, but I'm starting to feel short when I go to Whole Foods for lunch. Because everybody's taller than me. I don't know what it is. I think it's something that they put in the food over there.
You sure that it's not just bad posture?
You think I got bad posture? Can I work on that?
Sure, why not? You could also tie a couple bricks to your ankles and, hang in your closet or something.
When I say I'm big in Japan, I'm not talking about my penis. It's normal size. Maybe a little bit smaller.
Cool. I won't check, so it'll be fine. But we'll send Don to do a TikTok about it.
Check your DMs.
And on that note, we should run away. So, as always, I am James Sabata. And I'm Don Guillory. And we'll see you next week here at thenecronoma.com.